Hello again. On this ARTY chat I will be looking at this very large trilogy of works here from 2003 on stretch canvas, the largest piece of work I'd ever done at the time, and it is about the three goddesses of destiny from Greek mythology, the three fates. They are called Clotho, Lachesis and Atropos, and they, even though I have changed the sex to male, female, male, in Greek mythology they spin the thread of life, measure the length of the thread of life and then cut the thread of life. And it is a really personal piece. It's quite hard emotionally to talk about, but technically I can tell you that the tiles in the background were copied from originally from Malvern Priory. They're from the 1400s, Malvern Priory. Also I added into them influences from Roman and Celtic tiles as well to give them a really timeless feel. I wanted a background that didn't link into any particular era, just wanted to look beautiful and to offset without catching the eye in any particular way, just offset the three figures who were free floating in front of the backgrounds. Now I chose the faces completely at random. The two gentlemen at the end I chose from American Life magazines from the 1950s. I just picked out two faces I liked, and the middle one is of my partner Catherine, because it is pertinent to her that this painting it relates to the death of her mother. At the time I was also reading Philip Pullman's His Dark Materials trilogy, and I was so fascinated that each of us has a soul that is represented by a demon in an animal form that lives with you. So I put a bird on every character here, and the lily's there to represent death. Each one has a flower, and the thread is being spun out of a flower and going into the flower at the end after it's been cut. It's a very serious picture. I was very influenced by medieval artwork of the time in that the bodies, the proportions, the arms and the legs, the heads, they're out of proportion, but I absolutely love in medieval artwork the sincerity that it's done with such naivety, where proportions are all over the place and yet you get the message straight away. It's very childlike, but I think that makes the message even more immediate. So I did that with this. I did it very brazenly and openly, and the character, especially the middle character, staring you straight in the face, challenging you to just look into her eyes and see what she's seeing, which is the whole point of this painting, which was the imminent death of Catherine's mother. We had known this news for some time, and during this waiting period obviously it's extremely difficult and depressing, and so at times like this in life, when you're about to be confronted by the absolutely imponderable, the inexplicable, the mystery of death, I thought, well, I can't do nothing, I will simply put my feelings onto canvas and work very hard. That's why I made them so large, because they would take a very long amount of time. It wasn't cathartic. I can't say it was cathartic because nothing helps, but I felt I was recording the time, making the emotions at least beautiful, and actually adding my artwork to the grand tradition of mythological artwork, traditional artwork to do with the mystery of death. I wanted to really step up and put a piece of work that would stand the test of time because of this most serious moment in life, and to show that her daughter was holding her life gently and with love in her hands, and that's the golden thread that passes along there. She is holding it, and well, it is hard to talk about, but the point is it turned emotion into pure art. This is not a commercial piece of art at all. It really is, I'm hoping, a timeless piece which can stand scrutiny in that it doesn't really relate to anything in 2003. I think anybody that goes through a death can maybe relate to the seriousness of this, and so what I did was I reached out into history, to tradition, to mythology, to see how have people coped all through history, how have they recorded this most immense of events. And so I went back to the great tradition of Greek mythology and decided to just put my own spin on it. As far as technique is concerned, I use very large areas of flat colour with only little minor details at the end, minor sort of shading, making it quite flat. It's a very flat painting. The only time I got in depth really was the birds, which are really quite 3D, and the faces and the eyes, which are very three-dimensional. The rest of it is very flat, as if it was maybe a mosaic or something, or in a temple or a church window or something, or even a tiled floor, something like that. So that is the first time I attempted something completely from the heart in this way. Now this was the darkest of times that we'd had, and even in that time I believe that art and connection with others through art can actually see you through. So, a most serious piece of work here, The Three Fates from 2003. Thank you for listening. Do you remember I said I was doing a film and I said I don't want to be interrupted, so can you please just sit down while I do my film, please? I can't have you chatting away while I'm trying to talk to the audience, can I? Do you understand? You're going to sit on there? Alright, go over there then.